So, the life you are dreaming about, the life that you want to have, and the life that you know you're capable of is hidden in the work that you're avoiding. Okay, let's break that down a little further. I heard this from one of my favorite podcasters, and the moment I heard it, I felt like my whole entire system way of thinking completely just switched, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. What I mean by that, you have a vision of what you want for your life to be, but you're sitting on the other side of the screen, and as I speak, I hope you're not taking it quite literally, because I'm talking about myself and I'm talking about in general. You have a set idea of where you see yourself in the future, and you know what that is. Like, deep inside, it's been planted in you. By the way, God probably did that, right? If you know that and you're not living that, the life you dream about is, if you don't have it, hidden in the work that you're avoiding every day. Okay, you're putting it off, you're not doing it, you're making excuses. So now that we have established that, if you just heard that and you are triggered and you're automatically in panic and you're like, whoa, like that resonates very, 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 very clearly to me. That is probably because you care. And that is probably because what I just said is, it's pretty accurate, because who's listening to this is important, right? If you're sitting there and you're listening to it, if you're here at this video, obviously you needed to hear this, and that's why you're here. But if somebody heard this and they're like, I don't really care about that, like, I'm gonna continue not to do what I don't want to do, like. But if your instant answer is like, whoa, I actually need to like fix this, that indicates to me personally, if I'm sitting across from someone who just deeply was like impacted by what just came out of my mouth, that shows me that you are aware of yourself, you are trying to improve, you know that there is a change that needs to be made, and this just basically highlights that for you. Now, I'm not, like downfalling the people that would respond to this in a negative way or anything like that. I just think that because I've been there before, that I think it's probably because of lack of self-awareness. It's probably because of being comfortable with where you're at, knowing that you need to change something, but you don't change it because you are okay right now. Why need to disrupt anything? With that being said, what is this message, and why does this message matter so much, and why do we need to even care about this message? I think that whether your response to this was, I need to make a change in my life, or you're like, I don't really want to make a change right now, I don't care, or you're like, this does not resonate with me whatsoever, I think this is an important message regardless, because if you are in any shape or form trying to change your life and you are trying to get to your highest self and truly understand what your purpose in this world is, that what you're here to do, what God has you here to do, then it's important. I personally have seen magnificent change when I started implementing this in my life. I first have to acknowledge the fact that I simply was just avoiding the work altogether, and that can apply to anything and anything in life, okay? I would ask myself why I wasn't living the dream life that I always have dreamt about, but nothing was changing. I haven't changed anything, but I would sit there and ask why it's not changing. That is because I haven't done anything. And let me tell you, my friends, few points to kind of just conclude this message, because I don't want this video to be long, is that If you are sitting there and you're asking why you don't have what it is that you want, and you are not where you thought you would be, and you're not sure why or how, I simply would just assess what is going on around you. Just look, everything is right there, you guys. Everything is within reach, okay? All you have to do is assess your inner understanding of what it is you even want in the first place. That's number one, okay? You need to know what your goal is. You need to know what the point of all of it is. Your purpose, why are you gonna wake up every day and do the thing? You need to establish that and decide whatever you want it to be, right? So a dream without a vision is just a dream, right? I don't even know if that's a saying, but if you want to do something but you don't really have a plan, or you're not really visualizing what that thing will be, it's just a dream, right? Like, you wake up from it and it's gonna disappear because you haven't made the plan and the things to do to get to that thing, whatever it is. And I am not an expert because I also have dreams and I'm nowhere there at all, which is why I'm sitting here and talking to you guys, right? I think it's a perfect way to log and really just journal my journey as well. So, I'm also helping myself when I'm making these videos. So if you don't know how to get there, how are you gonna get there? You're just not, simply, it's gonna be a dream. So what I recommend that you do is, you need to first identify what that dream, goal, whatever it is. It can be as simple as working out. What your goal for working out is, I'll tell you mine. For me, when I go to the gym, I don't go to the gym because I'm trying to look a certain way, or I'm trying to be snatched, or that's not why I go to the gym. I go to the gym for one goal and one goal only, or maybe a few, but it's to simply be healthy, to get my heart pumping, to sweat a little bit and get that glowing skin, and to just feel mentally okay and physically, it helps me release whatever it is I need to release. That is the reason why I go to the gym. Once you've done that, right? So for me, I already hate going to the gym, but the fact that I have a mere simple goal that I go there every day for, it already makes the whole process 20 million times easier, okay? It just makes me want to do it because I already know what it is that I want to do and why I'm doing it. So understanding the why and the how is very important in this dream or goal you have, to then have a plan and have a way to execute it. And every day you wake up, it becomes easy and you're gonna want to do it because you already know why. You know your why as to why you're doing it. But now that we know that, right, you're probably wondering, like, okay, everybody says this, like, this is like everyone's advice online. Here's the thing, right? I think breaking down your goal is important. I think understanding not to chew more than you can swallow is very important. I think doing small things every day is important. I think that feeling like you have to do everything in one day is not effective. I think that you have to make a deal with yourself that every day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna give it 110% and more, because you have a vision and you have a goal, and you're not gonna see the results right away, which is why you have to give it 110% and be present. The one thing I want to say whenever you are establishing a goal, a plan, and a purpose in your life is to understand that it has nothing to do with you and it has everything to do with God. It's actually about Him and it's not about you. When we are us driven, or when I am me driven, I'm not gonna get anywhere, period. And I am telling you, I learned this the hard way, and the more you put God first, and the more you realize that your purpose, it's not about making more money, and it's not about this great job you're gonna get. It's not about that. It is actually about the purpose that God has for you and how you're going to implement that into your so-called career or whatever you want to call it. So get that like through your head and really understand that, because it's going to really help you. So it all boils down to massive action. You have to take action, any type of action. It could be the most simplest thing in the world, okay? I know for myself, I avoided a lot of things because I felt like I had to do everything in one day, or I felt like it just was too overwhelming, or that it felt too much that I couldn't even get started. So take action. As simple as that. Literally take action. Go to the gym and stand there. Your first session of going to the gym can be literally you not even doing much. You can just be there so that you can get your body prepared and your mental prepared. And the next day you do more. The next day you do more. The next day you do more. And the most important thing to remember with all of this is that there's no better day or time, whatever, to start to really reach your full potential and to start taking action and to actually start living your life in the way that you're meant to, and in the way that God has your life planned for you. Then now, the time is now. It's right now that you can make the change. It's right now that you can get up from this video and make the changes that you need to make and move on with what you need to move on and change your life for the better and grow from where you're at. Right now is the time, not tomorrow, not 2 hours from now. It's right now. The last thing I want to touch base on is motivation. Motivation and getting the help that you need, okay? During this time, you may need help from somebody, okay? You cannot do everything on your own. I recommend reaching out to the big guy upstairs, the Lord God. I would reach out to him, whatever it is that you believe in, whatever it is, connect to your higher power so that you have some accountability from somebody. But then if you need the physical and you need to see somebody and actually get help, then get the help that you need and get accountability from your friends, family, whoever you need the accountability from. Ultimately, motivation, I just want to say that if you only do these things when you're motivated, it's just not going to get done. You need to do it on the days that you're not motivated either. Here's the really, really great thing about this part is that whenever you're not motivated, you have that vision, that goal you set up. Now you have no choice but to get the thing done because you already know where you're headed. If I am working at a serving job and my goal is to become something big, I don't know, I can't think of anything right now, I'm gonna be motivated to go to work every day. I'm gonna want to show up. I'm gonna want to make my money. I'm gonna want to go 110% every single day because I already know where I'm headed, right? So that may not be the best example, but I'm just kind of giving you an idea. So you need to, that is why like goals and visions are so important, you guys. I'm telling you, that's just what's been helping me a lot in my life. I wanted to make this video because the past few months I have made like major changes. What they say about like take 1 year for yourself and really get to know yourself and put massive work and see what happens. What they say about that is really true because I've seen that within the past few months for myself, that while I'm a work in progress and I'm nowhere near where I want to be, and I'm not even equipped to even be giving advice or anything, but maybe I am, I don't know, right? But what I do know is that my experience is to be shared, and my story is to be shared, and my story is to give hope to others and to help others. You know, I think like you guys hearing my story is gonna help you understand that you're not the only one that's going through whatever. I think it really depends on the kind of person you are and what your priorities are, right? It all comes down to that. And I think my priority has always been improving and, you know, self evaluating and understanding myself and how I can do better in every shape and form for my family, for my friends, and for the people that I can help. So, you know, I think your priorities matters, and your intentions and your, again, goals and values and everything matters. So I say all that to say that, like, I'm not perfect, and that I have been at a point where I felt like I was stuck and I couldn't do something, or I felt that, you know, but the thing is, I was avoiding the work the whole entire time, you know? The moment I started taking action and started applying the work, I have seen massive change. That is all I have to say.